welcome back with We Boosters channel of the Double Chin Doge for today. First of all, before I start this thing, I would like to say, I don't know if anyone actually cares. I know a lot of people have been watching these. Someday they will. But, I actually completely forgot I made a playlist for these things. Like, yesterday I was just thinking, man, I should probably make a playlist for these. I'm making a whole lot of them, and then I realized I already had one. So yeah, sorry, that's not me being lazy and not wanting to do it. I actually only just realized I had a playlist for these things. I don't remember making that, so I guess I'm gonna put these on the playlist. So if you just started watching this, you can go back to episode 1 and see all the other ones. You don't need too much context. A lot of the things that I will refer to are self-explanatory. If they're really like you have no idea what I'm talking about, you can go back and try and find the one. I won't be able to tell you which episode it's from. But yeah, I mean, the only mechanic that's been recurring a lot is Spy, which you can kind of guess what it is just by its name. But anyway, back to the actual cards. We got a Truce Tree here, Guardian Legendary Tree Plant, 607. When played, you both draw a card, you both heal 3 health, you both get plus 1 sun, and they get plus 1 brains for the rest of the game. So you both kind of get like a cryo brain, but, you know, also for the plant side. And all plants and all zombies attack is taken away and added to their health. So that sounds like a little bit complicated, but basically it just means that a 2-3 would become a 0-5. When it's destroyed, all plants and zombies get plus 1 attack. To be honest, this might just be convoluted and all that, but I would just love like the idea of just a card like this that's just like, if everything's getting really aggressive and you're kind of like, oh no, what's going on, I'm gonna die, and it's just like, put this down. Suddenly you've got your ramp going, you've got a little bit of healing done, you've nullified their threats, and you've got another card, which isn't that crazy, but you know, that could be the top deck that saves you. Now, this, I don't think this is overpowered or anything. It's kind of hard to say because, you know, it's something really, really different. I mean, obviously, the enemy gets the same benefits that you do. Except, obviously, if you're going to be playing this card, usually the benefits are more well-suited to your deck. But yeah, I love nullifying aggro. I love every card idea. I would love to see every card idea in the game that just stops aggro decks from existing. Then we got the Tree of Teamwork. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Kabloom was the only one I had no ideas for, so this one is a little bit forced. But at the same time, there's definitely some interesting potential for this card. You might say that it fits a little bit better in Smarty, but, well, I already had a Smarty one. It is really just that simple. But anyway, Tree of Teamwork, Kabloom Legendary Tree Plant, 3/2/3, Team Up. When played, draw a card. All plants in your hand have Team Up. So, just to be clear, if it dies, then anything that's still in your hand loses Team Up. But while it's alive, everything you play will have Team Up. So that means, you know, you can give loads of cards that aren't beans or aren't usually Team Ups. Team Up that you couldn't give before, which with some legendaries I imagine is pretty crazy, but I imagine the majority of the time that'll be pretty just normal. But there is some potential for some crazy burst damage if you manage to team up some really high attack plants that usually don't get teamed up in one lane and then remove any threats on it and get rid of all the protection. So yeah, there's definitely potential for that. And then there's Treat Tree, which I think would probably be one of the funniest ones. Mega Grow Legendary Tree Fruit Plant, 306. Ooh, did I make this a 3 cost? Maybe this should cost 4. End of turn, give all plants +1/+1 and conjure a fruit. Yeah, this should probably cost 4. I don't know why I made this cost 3. I mean, giving all plants +1/+1 every turn, if it was just that, yeah, it should cost 3. I think it was originally that, and then I didn't bother to change it back to 4 when I added the conjure a fruit. Because I also like just having the card draw. Mega Grow, despite having Flourish, which is their plant's version of, you know, draw 3 cost, draw a card. Sorry, draw 2 cards. Despite having that, Mega Grow is one of the worst classes for card draw, because you've only got that, which is too slow in this meta, or party time, which is party time. And that's all you've got in terms of card drawing Mega Grow. So heroes like Captain Combustible, Grass Knuckles, Chompzillarius somewhat. They kind of struggle. It's not like they're dying for card draw, but they do kind of struggle. So, this is just some extra card draw for them. But it's not from their deck, which is, it's a kind of a downgrade. It'd be interesting to see because fruits, if you haven't actually looked at the collection, I searched the collection to see what the fruits are on the plant side when Exploding Fruitcake, when it first popped up. Because I was interested in whether conjuring a fruit would be really good or not. Because the only fruits I could think of were legendaries, and if you actually look at the fruits in the game, there are 6 fruits in every class except Mega Grow, who only has 1, which is Captain Cucumber. And yeah, the majority of the fruits are either trash or amazing. So I think it's good that you constantly get to conjure a fruit instead of just conjuring one. Because you conjure one, then it's just going to either be amazing or terrible, and just that's that. But whereas if you got constant conjures, if you get a bad one, you might get a great one next. Because you could get like a shooting star fruit, or you could get a pear pal. You could get Captain Cucumber, as I said, or you could get Spineapple. You could get Dark Matter Dragon Fruit, but you could get Prickly Pear. The fruit pool is probably the most polarized pool of plants in the game. Basically every single fruit is either completely useless or absolutely amazing. So yeah, that'd be kind of funny to watch. Anyway, I don't know why Magnet Shroom is here. This is an idea I did in my first episode. I was going to change its cost to 3, and because I thought 4 is overpriced, and then when I did it, everything just disappeared on it. So, yeah. Anyway, then there's Couch Potato. I actually don't remember what this is. Guardian Rare Root Plant, 1/1/3, when hurt, get +1 attack. End of turn, if this was not hurt this turn, get +1 health. Okay. So, I don't remember making this one. This is kind of... I can imagine this being a good tempo card, actually. Because at first I didn't like the look of this, because these cards that get stronger as they get hurt, like Newspaper Zombie, are really fun, but they basically never work. And it's a real shame, because they have a lot of potential. But them getting damaged to do their abilities almost always ends up in small removal, removing your win conditions for a cheap price, giving them enough leftover sun or brains to hit you back harder. Now, this card, if you don't go right out the gate so aggressively with trying to do damage, you can build up its health, then make it hurt itself, and at that point, because it's built up so much health, it won't be easily small removaled. That's not English. It won't easily be killed by small removals, so they'll have to use more expensive removal, probably hard removal. So if they do that kind of thing, then you will actually kind of get a bit of a return on your investment, because they'll either not be able to destroy it, or if they can destroy it, they have to spend about the same amount of brains, or maybe more brains than you would have spent sun setting it up. So yeah. Then there's Cunning Cabbage, which I don't remember why. I don't know why I only just put this card in. I forgot this card for ages. This is one of the first card ideas I've ever had, and had this idea before I started this series, ages ago. I think I left it in some comment section on a YouTube video, and I don't know which one. But anyway, it's a Smarty Legendary Leafy Plant, 5/3/2. This is not exactly the same as it was when I first described it, but I'm guessing that when I first described it, I was a bit not very good at it. Anyway, when played, if you have not played any tricks this turn, you cannot play tricks now, but you will be able to play. You will be able to play tricks after zombies play tricks before the fight phase. So basically, you'd come down, and on the little thing that has like the zombies, like there's a start. There's like the pass button here. There's the zombies phase, then there's the plant phase, and there's zombie tricks. Then it would usually be fight, but then an extra little area would appear, which is plant tricks, and then the fight would happen. So basically, yeah, you can't play any tricks when it comes to your turn, but then you get an extra turn after the zombies have played to play the tricks. Um, so yeah, but that's just for one turn. Um, to be honest, this is good, but at 5 cost, you're not going to be able to do, even in the late game, any tricks. Well, you know what? I may look crazy, but I'm just thinking it's going to be so hard to actually, put tricks down that are cheap enough yet effective enough to do something significant after the zombies have played when you're paying that much sun to get this on the board itself. So yeah, I am going to knock that down to 3. That might be a bit much, but I'm just thinking about the plant tricks, and the majority of them wouldn't be that game changing if you did them after, not before the phase, because they're made to be done before. But anyway, I'm not actually sure how far I am in this. I'm gonna stop just in case. I think I've got a lot of time left, but I don't remember.